Now, from WBZ Sports, this is Burton Ernie Talk Football with Fauria.
Welcome, everyone, to Burton Ernie Talk Football with Fauria. I'm Steve Burton, and we are getting ready for Patriots playoff game in Foxborough for the first time since Tom Brady left town. Patriots will host Justin Herbert and the Chargers Sunday night at Gillette Stadium in prime time. Prime time! Seems like the NFL and the networks are on the Drake May bandwagon, too. Ernie Adams and Christopher Fauria alongside, and hey, prime time, 8 o'clock game.
We're back, baby.
We are back. And they don't like us around the country, Ernie, because they said the Patriots were bad for 5 minutes.
Right. The only thing looks like we're going to be missing, of course, which is would be a great thing Sunday night, is snow. Having the Chargers in snow would be perfect. Somehow the weather gods, I'm not sure they're going to cooperate.
Well, here's the thing. It's going to be like low 30s, windy, chilly. They got to fly across town. As a matter of fact, what day, if you're a Chargers coach, what day do you fly out?
Probably
across the country.
Probably they will fly out. Most West Coast teams fly here on Friday.
Yeah,
Friday.
Yeah, when I played with Seattle, every time we came anywhere east, Washington or wherever, East Coast, like we would leave Friday afternoon.
And of course, the one thing about being a West Coast team, because if you look at the map of the United States, most of the NFL teams are located east of the Mississippi. Those teams on the West Coast always have multiple games on the eastern seaboard. That's just if you look at the teams that fly the most, they're always the teams on the West Coast.
And it used to, like, Seattle was literally the worst city to be in.
To be in?
Oh my! We would have trips like baseball teams, right? We would pack luggage and we were like, hey, we're going to be gone for 3 weeks. It was like a getaway today.
How can you get in these guys' heads before they even arrive, or once they arrive? You know, you got the weather on your side.
Yeah.
All right, they're a dome team. They're playing outside now. It's like, how do you get? Are there messages you can send before the game even starts, Kristen?
You just let them come out and feel the cold. I mean, I remember the cold game that Christian was here for, the division playoff game against Tennessee. The highlights after the game, they had the Titans players. Oh, my fingers are so cold I can't feel them. That's what you need.
I will say though, like Harbaugh is a different kind of guy, and I don't know if his teams, are going to be that effective. I think he's going to have them ready, because I don't think you can, like the old days of the San Diego Chargers where you really felt like you had an advantage. Right. I don't know if it's going to work.
Well,
I don't think
different
that these
anyway,
guys.
Right?
Yeah, that's my point. So
he's a Michigan kid. He's a Michigan guy.
He's a Michigan kid, but they're still used to being warm in Southern California all the time.
Speaking from being from California,
right?
Okay, and the only guy who wore sleeves during all those cold games, because I was like, you know what, I just don't want to be cold. Like, and I didn't feel like it gave me extra tough points by going sleeveless. I didn't care. But no, I think that it's nice to kind of like assume that's going to happen. But a lot of these guys, if I would say the worst weather. It's not the cold, just the overall cold. It's something that it's the cold and the rain. That's when the ball is slick and you're like, this sucks.
But I will say the biggest thing now for this week, as far as the New England Patriots go, is that just all understand that this is the playoff game. The Jets aren't showing up, the Dolphins, none of those.
These guys are real.
And you look at the Patriots season, all the games they've played against playoff caliber teams, Buffalo, Tampa Bay, Baltimore. They all went right down to the end. This is going to be a hard football game, for 60 minutes.
Before I get to Justin Herbert, the Chargers quarterback, what's the message that there's a sign that goes up in Denver before the players arrive? You told me this.
Oh no, that was in Boulder.
I know, but you play with players' minds,
when you go like
to Denver, high altitude, right?
Yeah, high altitude. We used to have this saying in our visitor locker room when I went to Colorado, and it was something, I'm paraphrasing, something to the fact of like, welcome to Boulder, Colorado, elevation 3,000 some odd feet, catch your breath. And every team that would go there, before the team would get there, they would cover it up because they didn't want the players to get all psyched out.
Catch your breath.
Yeah, and be like, oh my God, I can't breathe. The altitude's getting to me.
Well, of course, so at Denver, they have that sign, welcome to Denver. It is right across the hallway from the visiting team locker room. You walk out, it's going to be right there in front of you.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable.
No, it's great.
All right, Justin Herbert. Here's a quarterback that, he's got all the skills, tall, throw downfield. Not a playoff quarterback, though. Not a great playoff quarterback.
Well, the numbers, especially last year, would
threw
say.
4 picks.
Yeah,
he threw 4 picks in the game.
They do not. His past 2 playoff appearances have not been good at all. Struggled in both of them. Hell, they had I think a 21-point lead against the Jacksonville Jaguars
and
lost that. Ended up losing 31-30. I always say though, he's a big guy. His biggest issue is is the fact that he's been sacked 54 times. No other quarterback in the playoffs right now has been sacked more than he has. So if you can get to him, if you can kind of make life miserable for him, you're going to get a couple gifts.
But he can throw the football, and he can throw it really well. And he has got the ability to really challenge you.
Now he's coming off surgery. He had a hand
a couple weeks
issue,
ago.
okay,
but
it was on his non-throwing hand.
Yep.
Okay, so does it affect him? Does it affect him? A lot of his plays are from shotgun.
Right.
When he under center, does it affect you?
I don't really know exactly where the surgery was. Potentially, it could. Let's put it this way: it's not going to help him. But everybody at this stage of the year, or so many players, have got something wrong
with him.
But
ever since he had the surgery, things have not.
Right. Well,
those numbers have not been there.
If you look at the NFL as far as offensive line combinations, I think the Chargers have had the most in the league. So that's how you get 54 sacks. The one thing I'll say about him, we talk about playing in inclement weather, wind, rain. The one thing Herbert can do is drive the ball through the weather. It's not going to slow down. It's not going to fade because he doesn't give it enough juice. It's getting there on a rope.
Okay.
I remember we played the Chargers in 2020. They were a bad team. And I was standing there with Bill Belichick. We're watching them warm up. We both looked at each other and said,
what?
hey, when you go looking for a quarterback, that's the kind of guy you want.
Okay. He stood out to you.
Off the bus. Yeah.
He's warm up throw. Now, this guy,
But you got to have it a year ago, too.
He is smart. He's got what you want. He's the real deal. Now, whether or not how he plays, that's another story. But this is a big, talented guy.
Yeah, no, you're talking about guys that come off the bus and you're like, it's is that what they all look like? That's your quarterback. That guy looks like a tight end. No, that's our quarterback.
That's the quarterback.
And so, he's tough to bring down. He scrambles. He's so tough, physically just tough. It's going to be hard for you to shake him. And he's got big wide receivers that can go up and get the ball. So when he throws or when he drives it through that rain or that wind or whatever, they come down with it.
He's big like Josh Allen, but he doesn't move like Josh Allen.
No, he doesn't have that kind of production move around, but he's a
tough to tackle
guy.
Yes.
And just remember, this is a team, they've won 11 regular season games. Okay? And winning one regular season game is hard. They've done a lot of good things. They're a good team. It's a playoff game. Be a tough game.
All right. Time will tell, because it'll be here before you know it. Well, we're going to take a break. But when we come back, we head to the whiteboard to talk about using those jumbo bodies on offense. Stay tuned. You're watching Burton Ernie talk football with Fauria. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to Burton Ernie Talk Football with Fauria. We're here at the whiteboard with Ernie Adams, Christian Fauria, talking jumbo people.
Jumbo people.
Big
fat people.
Big people.
Just say it the right way.
Offensive line.
Big people, right. And so what we've seen here doing and what the Patriots have been good mixing in is bringing in an extra offensive lineman and putting them either a tight end or in the backfield, which gives you a little more bulk, more big guys blocking on the running game. And so the first thing you got to remember is when you come in as an extra offensive lineman going to becoming an eligible receiver position,
you got to check in.
You have to report to the referee.
How do you do it, Ernie?
Right here, my number, and the referee will make the announcement. So the defense has no question about who the eligible receivers are.
So there goes 74 is eligible.
Right.
Yes.
And you have to report on every play. If you're in there for 10 plays, it can be just, I'm in there and, I report once. You have to report to the referee every
Hold on.
So even field goals and PATs.
Right.
Hold on. So 74 stays in the huddle for the next play. You still have to go back to the referee and say, I'm still in the game?
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
still
Oh,
reporting.
I didn't know that.
You definitely do. And
I thought it was once you just checked in.
no. And you can't just then go all of a sudden go back to being an ineligible receiver. Once you're reported in as eligible, you have to leave the game, and then you can come back in unless there's a timeout or something where the game officially stops.
Yeah.
But you have.
So this 74 guy, even though he's an offensive lineman and playing tight end or whatever he's playing, he can't slide down.
Right.
And you can stay in the game, but he can stay in the game, but he's got to let the guy go. No, I'm not eligible anymore.
No, he has to go out of the game for a play.
Unless there's a timeout.
Unless there's a timeout.
Interesting.
So and the reason, of course, is so you can't go playing games.
Yeah.
And there'd be some
God forbid you try to trick the other team.
Right. So that's the whole deal. When you see it on TV, the referee saying 74 is eligible. It's the defensive team has to know who the eligible.
The crazy
receivers
thing
are.
is sometimes, Ernie, I'm sure you've seen this. I've seen guys report as eligible right up to the ref, and then they still miss it. And they still like, wait a second. I literally
the refs miss it.
If you have to tell the ref, if you don't tell the ref, then somebody else is going to
Why
call
would you just say I just told you?
You do, but it's too late.
So what we did on this when we were practicing at the Patriots, I was the referee, and the players had to come report
This
to
during
me,
the week of practice.
To me during practice, and I always told you make sure that the referee sees you.
Yeah,
it's not just running by.
Yeah,
you make eye
no
contact.
doubt.
You make sure that referee sees you and he knows. And of course it's not in office. It's also coming in where this happens most of the time is on the field goal team. That's where you're going to have two guys or more, depending on who your wings are.
So who's this guy?
And the Patriots also do is they'll bring in 20. They'll also put in a bigger guy in a fullback. So they've had some times where they can looks like kind of old time football. Yeah. They've got a bigger blocker at tight end. They got a real fullback. And you say, okay, well, does the defense know these guys? It's just going to be a run. This is also putting your offensive lineman at tight end. When you run play action, you have a better blocker against a lot of times the defensive end, because play action is great, but it can be a problem if you have a tight end, a real tight end, having the pass block against a top defensive end. Because Christian, as a tight end, how much time did you really get to spend on pass blocking?
Never.
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 You guys didn't practice pass blocking?
But tight ends, you should not be blocking a defensive end on your own.
Right.
You shouldn't.
But we said on our relation, tight end next to quarterback is without question the most complicated position on the field.
You always said that.
Because you have to be involved with blocking with the lineman, just like an offensive lineman, and then you have to be able to run routes for the receivers.
How do tight ends not practice blocking?
You
got to block.
Pass blocking.
Pass blocking.
It's just
different.
It's you right. There's only so many hours in the day.
All right. I have another question.
Yes.
So if both these guys are offensive linemen, does this guy have to check it and say I'm
no? If he has an ineligible number, if his number.
Whoa. Okay. Ineligible
if
number.
If his number is between 50 and 79, that's an ineligible number. The only way it can become eligible is if you report.
Yeah.
So they have Westover 37 at fullback, but also they've had Tonga back. Tonga back. So you could easily listen. Particularly Sunday night, if it's a crappy night and you got to run the ball, you might have two big guys, two guys reporting.
So both guys have to report?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, hopefully Tonga's healthy and he's ready to go.
Right.
Imagine this guy, on a ISO play, downhill, guard splits, tackle splits, and there's this ginormous hole, and there's a linebacker who's probably around 240, and he has to sit there and take on that block.
He's going to get killed.
If they do it right, he shouldn't win.
Well, but this is, the last time the Patriots played the Chargers in a home field playoff game was in 2018 when they played a lot of dime defense. So we said going into the game, we're going to make the game like the Oklahoma drill, which is just one-on-one, mano-a-mano, and we had Marcus Cannon in there blocking, a 220-pound safety, and we just knocked them off the ball. And you talk about mismatches, receivers against this corner. No, we had a 340-pound tackle blocking
Who could move?
Blocking a 220-pound safety.
Done.
That was a mismatch.
I love it.
That's a loss.
All right. Next up, we're staying here at the whiteboard to talk about field goals and field goal protection. We'll be right back. A lot to learn. Welcome back, everyone, to Burton Ernie, Talk Football with Fauria. Now we're talking field goal strategy, field goal protection. How do the big guys block up front? How does a field goal get blocked? You got to be able to protect.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of blocks and a lot of squirrely plays going on in the NFL, especially on the field goal. Just look at what happened, Sunday night with the Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Sunday night. So you had the Boswell for Pittsburgh misses the PAT.
Right.
So instead of being up by 3, they're up by 2. Baltimore comes down. They're in position. They should win the game. And misses the field goal.
Yeah.
So, and the first thing you got to always understand
is what?
If you're on this team, when the field goal team goes on the field, it's points. It's going to be points, one way or the other. So this is, and they when the score gets reported on the next morning, it's not how many first downs you had, it's how many points you scored. So.
Hold on. When a field goal team comes on the field, it's points. What if he doesn't make the field goal? How's it points?
It's important. That's what you got to think. Points.
It's points we didn't get. It's
points we didn't get.
It's like Boswell missing that PAT. That should. Aaron Rodgers, the look on his face when Baltimore had the ball down there, he knew they were going to lose the game.
Wow.
I mean, it's just, oh my God, we're going to lose this game.
So improbable that two guys missed their relatively around the same distance too.
Right. Now, Pittsburgh is a little more complicated in that you're kicking off of grass. So it's a big that and you have it's open air, so that can be a windy place.
All right, so what do we got here?
So what we've got here is the first thing when you're on this team, this is 1.3 seconds. 1.3 seconds of total intensity. It's 1.3.
Seems like 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's 1.3 because that's how long it's going to take to get the snap, the hold, and the kick.
1.3 seconds.
1.3 seconds.
That's
but
fast.
you can't cut it short. Oh, I'll just do half a second. That's how your field goal gets blocked.
Okay.
And
how far is the holder from the line of scrimmage?
The ball is going to be spotted 8 yards back.
Okay.
And these people, the holder, the kicker, the holder's going to be your punter. Now that's universal.
Yeah.
Your snapper and your kicker, they live together. They work on all
the holder used to be the backup quarterback.
They're like Burton. Yeah, like Burton Ernie.
Right.
So we don't live together.
Yeah. Well, these guys do. They travel together. They work on this stuff. So all the time. So the biggest thing you can't do
is what?
Is you can't let seams open up between your guys up front. Okay.
So everybody's squeezing down?
You are lined up foot to foot. In fact, what you'll usually do is
we're like this. You're like this.
Yes.
We're crossed over?
Yeah, we're crossed over.
My leg's inside your leg?
Gaps.
Yes, no gaps. That's a
little weird. That's a little too close.
That's all right.
No gaps.
So you're taking a step down with your inside short step. So what you do is you narrow your stance a little bit so that when you take your step, you have your best base underneath you, because they are coming right, and you got to sit there and catch them.
So is everybody leaning at the same time?
Everybody
stepping at the same time?
Everybody, but you're going to stay square because they are coming right at you, trying to knock you back.
Because if you do open up your shoulders, it's just so easy for them to just rush through. And again, 1.6 seconds, whatever.
It's 1.3.
Oh, jeez, I gave it
1.6 is a luxury you're never going to get. So what happened on the kick that got blocked?
Blocked is what?
Okay, so we have and this is low. He stepped down, so it's you step with your inside foot and you get your outside arm up.
Yeah.
Try to help your guy.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't really get his outside arm up. Our tight end here was just off the practice squad, and he's in too wide a stance, so he's off balance.
Ooh.
He ended up getting knocked back, so the seam opened up, and this man for the Dolphins, 92, I'm embarrassed to say, I don't even know his name. He did a quick swim move, and then if you're rushing the field goal kicker, you do not just come in and rush at the kicker. You'll miss it every.
You go to an area.
You come flat. You come flat to get your hands in the line of the kick.
Yeah, and then the important thing is which hand are you putting up? Which
That's fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
And
there's an art to it.
There is absolutely. I mean, it just kind of looks like, ooh, what's just
He's
happened?
got lucky.
Right.
No, there's skill and technique to it.
Good stuff, Ernie. Good stuff. All right. We look ahead to the Chargers. When we come back, stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. We're talking big picture Patriots. Nobody expected this team to be 14-3. But Ernie, if they lose their first playoff game, how would you grade the team?
Well, look, this is where you really make. I hate to use this term. Your legacy, your legends, is winning at this time of year. You lose a wild card game. Hey, well, you went from 4-13 to 14-3. It's a great year. It's a foundation, but it's not the same as you go win a couple games now. And we always looked at it as to really have the year now that you can say is significant is getting to that championship game. The thing the Patriots have the advantage of in the playoffs is by being the 2 seed. They win 2 games at home.
Yep.
They will be in the championship game. But it's that's what the games, they all get bigger. The pressure gets bigger. It's having a team that hasn't really played in this you walk out there the first time, it's oh my God, we lose here, it's over. And that's a whole different. There's no next week if you lose.
Yeah, I don't want to think about a loss or what if at this point in time, but there's nothing like the playoffs. It's just nothing like it. Any prime time
and
on a
right?
Sunday. Everybody's watching you. You just feel like you're the main event of a big boxing match.
And if you're in it as a player or coach, this is what you live for. Right now. I mean, this is you put on the whole year, everything, the training camp, it's 3 hours. You're putting everything on the line for 3 hours on Sunday,
and you get healthy. Don't you feel like? I mean, I know not you, but you feel. You get healthy
even
in a
if
hurry.
you're hurting.
Yes,
you still feel that way.
The adrenaline.
Yeah,
the adrenaline. The
one more
excitement.
time.
Yeah,
one more time. I can do it.
And not to be negative Nelly here, but it can end so abruptly, can it?
Absolutely.
Not this Sunday.
No, not this Sunday. All
Get
right.
that out of your head.
Prediction, quickly.
Win. Tough win, close win by 2 points or a point. Real
Ernie?
close.
I'm with Christian.
Yeah.
Tough game. Patriots going to win it.
I love it. All right. That's going to do it for this week's edition of Burton Ernie Talk Football with Fauria. We're on every Tuesday night. We'll see you next week. Find us on YouTube as well.